Hello and welcome here to TalkFCB and welcome back here to the channel, guys. And after the Champions League took centre stage in midweek, it is now time to return to La Liga. It's Granada against Barcelona, and this right here, when we find ourselves down the league, it's very simple. We've got to win. We have to beat Granada this weekend. We've got to continue putting that pressure on our opponents. It's a must-win, and right here, coming to you, it's the match preview. Let's do this! Kickoff will be coming to us at 9 p.m. on Saturday night, live there from the Nuevo Estadio de los Carmenes in Granada. And certainly you guys are in very, very confident mood. And I do feel like here, this is the first 3+ goals prediction of the season so far from you guys. You think we're going to win this game, and you believe it's going to be comfortable. And I think certainly, looking at both teams, looking at the way both teams play, what you can guarantee, in this game, there will be goals. Elsewhere in La Liga this weekend, Atletico Madrid face Celta Vigo at the Wanda Metropolitano Stadium. That game there is going to be right before ours on the Saturday, so we're going to know how Atletico get on before we play. And what I would say there is, it's quite a quick turnaround. Atletico, they were in action on Wednesday against Juventus. That was a real high-intensity game right to the final whistle. That might take its toll there. Playing on the Saturday, will Atletico win? We're going to have to wait and see. Then on the Sunday, it's Sevilla against Real Madrid, two of the big hitters in La Liga so far. Real have had a really, really bad week. Sevilla won in the Europa League, and that should be a great game there at the Ramon Sanchez Pizjuan, with one of those two, or maybe even both of them, if it's a draw, could be dropping points. And if you look here at the La Liga table after 4 games, it's not particularly pleasant reading for Barcelona fans, but you can see there that Real's opponents on Sunday, Sevilla, they're top right now. They're top of the league, they're in good form, they're looking very, very good. They're always good at home as well, so that could be a tough game there for Real. They're on 10 points so far, Sevilla. Then there's Atletico, then there's Real themselves, Athletic Club, of course, in 4th place, and then in 5th and also on 6th, both on 7 points there, it's Barcelona and our opponents tomorrow, Granada. And believe me, they are a team to keep an eye on. They are a team in this game that are going to cause a threat, because they've had a great start of the season. Because on Saturday, of course, you'll be facing there another newly promoted side, of course, along with Osasuna, who we've already played this season. They caused us problems away from home, and certainly Granada are going to do much the same sort of thing. They're going to be coming into this game, they're at home, they've got a raucous home crowd there behind them, and they're coming into this game in fantastic form, having won both of their last games, and those two are really, really good wins as well. Both of them coming away from home, both of them there against decent opposition, away at Celta and away at Espanyol, and comfortably 2-0, 3-0, no problem at all for Granada, and very, very exciting start for them. They're also involved there in an incredible 4-4 draw on the opening weekend of the season against Villarreal, and that's basically just outlined there what Granada can do. They can score goals, they got players in this team who, if we make defensive mistakes, if we leave ourselves wide open, they can score goals, but what they're also going to do is come here and have a real go. They are going to come forward, they're not just going to sit deep, they're not just going to sit in, they are going to attack us, and to be honest, that could actually work in our favour if we play our cards right. Because if you come into this game and you've got a game here whereby the opposition do come out, they do attack us, they do leave a bit of space in behind perhaps, we could certainly exploit that. But at the same time, we've got to be better defensively. We have to be better defensively here in La Liga. We've seen so far this season, we've conceded far, far too many goals. And our goalless draw there in the week against Dortmund was our very first clean sheet of the season. And even in that came in circumstances there where Dortmund at times were peppering our goal. We had to thank Ter Stegen really for that clean sheet. We've got to do better defensively. We've got to keep Granada out, and then certainly down the other end, we can score the goals. We can score the goals to win us games. What you can't do though is start relying on your strikers to score 3, 4 goals every game just to win, because you're going to concede 2, you're going to concede 3. That's not good enough. You can't rely on scoring 3, 4 goals every week just to win a game when you're leaking too many goals at the back. You saw that against Osasuna. We should have won that game. We certainly should have won the game against Osasuna, but we conceded twice. We scored twice, but we let them in at the other end. You can't do that here, because of course, in a game like this, you do expect to beat Granada. And I want to talk here about a few fitness issues going into this game. Obviously, the squad list as of right now is not quite out yet. What I can tell you is Lionel Messi has been training. Of course, he came on against Borussia Dortmund. He's been training completely fine after that game. I'm fully expecting him to be involved in this game. There's a few words as well on Ousmane Dembele, who is nearing his return from his injury, but I think this game right here is going to come too quickly for him. They're not going to take that risk. They're not just going to throw him back in, because of course with Dembele, we do have to be careful. I think you're looking at next week there, Villarreal and also Etafe as Dembele's possible return dates there. But I want to talk here about some rotation in the squad. I want to talk about that simply because, although it's early in the season, yes, you've not played all that many games, the players shouldn't really be tired tired at this point, but I think, to be honest, over the next few games, we are going to see Valverde try a few different things, or we should be, in the team, simply because you look at Dortmund there on Tuesday, we're playing now again on Saturday against Granada, and you look there at the next 2 weeks, we've got 4 games coming up. We've got midweek games there in every single week here, starting this week, next week, the week after. Certainly there, Valverde, he's going to have to try a few different names, a few different players coming into the team just to keep that starting 11 nice and fresh and ultimately on top form. And the 2 players that I would look at right now, and I'd say, when are we going to see them? First and foremost, Jean-Claire Todibo, simply because Samuel Umtiti right now is out injured. That means that right now we've got Todibo, we've got Longley, we've got Piqué. If something happens there to Longley or Piqué, you're in real trouble, because what you're going to do, you're going to have to throw Todibo in when you haven't really placed a lot of confidence in him yet this season. So better now to introduce him in one of these games, say go on then, go out there, show me what you can do, put that faith in him now, before something happens, before you want to throw him in, put that trust in him early, give him a game or two, give him some minutes, just to get that under his belt. And what I would also look to there is Carlos Alenia, somebody who for me, so far this season, has been completely discarded almost. He played in the first game against Athletic, but since then, he hasn't even been in the squad, he hasn't even been anywhere near the team, and I wonder there, what's going on between Alenia and Ernesto Valverde? Are we going to see him feature in the weeks to come? Certainly, we've got to start using this squad, but when is Ernesto going to start putting those changes in place? And if I had to guess exactly what Ernesto Valverde is going to do on Saturday, I would say here something very similar to this. I'm going to talk you through this team, and then I'm going to talk about my own team, what I would do in this game. But starting here, I think it's going to be a very similar back four. You've got Ter Stegen, obviously Junior Firpo is going to come in at left back, there for the injured Jordi Alba. You've got Longley and Piqué at centre back. Maybe, just maybe, we might see Todibo on Saturday, but I wouldn't fully count on it. Semedo here at right back. Then in midfield, maybe Valverde may do something a bit different, but right now, Busquets, Arthur de Jong. I want to see continuity there between Arthur and Frankie de Jong, just to build that relationship, just to keep developing really what we've seen so far. Very, very encouraging signs. What you might see there, perhaps, is something a bit different in midfield. Maybe Busquets might be reduced to the bench in this one. Maybe Arturo Vidal could come in there in the defensive midfield position. Or, of course, Ivan Rakitic, who we did see in the week come on against Dortmund and play in that kind of role. But that often means that Frankie de Jong is having to drop in here. And I don't really like that all the time, personally. I think he's a bit wasted if he drops too deep. You don't want him too deep in the field because he can affect things going forward. So maybe Busquets there will stay for the time being. And then up front, that's the big talking point. I think Messi, certainly, if he's fully fit, if he's ready, he came on against Dortmund, he looked good, he's been training. I think you could definitely start this game out here on the right-hand side. And then it's what you're going to do with Antoine Griezmann and Luis Suarez. And I think Valverde very tempted there to go with Suarez up front, Griezmann again on this left-hand side. But like I said against Dortmund, for me, that shouldn't happen. For me, it should be one or the other. Because again, yes, that front three there, it will get you goals. Against Granada, Griezmann, Suarez, Messi, they will get you goals without a shadow of a doubt. But all I'm saying is that a good system? Is that a good balanced formation there and a good structure that you're building towards something special? I would say no. That there is not something that we can use in every single game. It's not something there that we can use to really bring us on and develop and improve in Europe. It's simply not. It's not going to do that. And what I would also see here, Junior Firpo coming in at left back, he's not quite Jordi Alba yet. He's not somebody who's going to come in and fully understand the system, fully play in the best way straight away. And if you have Griezmann here out on the left-hand side, he is going to come in. He's certainly going to play a lot narrower. He's going to allow a lot of space there on the left-hand side. And then you're going to be asking Junior Firpo to do so much work going forward. And in doing so, you may then make him neglect his defensive duties because you have to do an awful lot of work there out on this left-hand side. He's new to the system. He's new to the team. And with Griezmann out on the left, he's got to do so much work there as a new player there in at left-back. And that's why I think for me, it should be Griezmann starting up front in this game, Suarez there dropping to the bench as the impact sub that we talked about. And personally, I would come out and say, look, Ansu Fati, have another go. Out on the left-hand side, that's his natural side. Griezmann up front, Messi from the right, and I'd love to see that. You'd look at this right-hand side here, you got De Jong, you got Messi, you got Griezmann. If Messi comes inside, they can do something here. Semedo's going to have to do a bit more work, but he's a bit more used to the system at Barcelona. But for me, you've got to have one natural winger right there in Ansu Fati. He's somebody there who can stay wide, he can stretch Granada, and I think they're very, very exciting to see him in a front three there with Antoine Griezmann and Lionel Messi. That's an exciting team. And of course, now it is time for my official score prediction ahead of this one. And you know what? I'm going to go with you guys. I too am going to be confident going into this game. I think we can score goals. I think Granada do pose a threat going forward, but defensively, we can score goals here. I'm not going to say we're going to keep a clean sheet, but but we are going to score 4. Barca 4, Granada 1. That's my score prediction. What is yours? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, guys. What team would you play in this game? Is there anybody you'd bring into the lineup? Somebody who maybe you rotate and give a chance to? Let me know in the comments down below. And of course, tomorrow, I'll be right here with the match review straight after the game, and hopefully it's a good one. I'll see you then. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for your comments. And until next time, as always, Vasca! El Barça!